I want to share a secret with everyone. If you return to your inner self and stop clinging to the outside world, you will become very powerful. What does it mean to cling to the outside? My nature is self-sufficient. I don't need to seek externally. Almost all ancient sages and wise men share the same message. They guide us to start anew, shifting from seeking outwardly to seeking inwardly, and that is when you become powerful. Why are people weak? Why are they soft? It's because you crave high praise from the outside world, you're too eager for others' approval, and you care too much about how others perceive you. Such people become weaker. All the wisdom shared by ancient sages and philosophers can be summed up in one sentence. Seek with your heart, because you are the source of everything. We must firmly believe that as long as we change ourselves, everything will change. Believe that my nature is self-sufficient. I do not need to seek externally. Return to your rightful place. Observe inwardly, practice inwardly. What is outward? Outward is comparison. Outward is attachment. Outward is consumption. When your mental energy constantly seeks confirmation from life, your mind becomes scattered, and your body and energy are drained. After a person awakens, the first thing they need to learn is the ability to stop looking outward. Don't pay attention to others' expressions, their eyes. Don't overly concern yourself with others' judgments and opinions. Life is yours and has nothing to do with others. In fact, you don't need those external labels forced upon you. What your consciousness needs is the space to expand and develop freely. Don't watch all that chaotic stuff. Negative information, gossip, or violence and pornography. These all disturb our minds, consume our attention and energy, and lower our spiritual creativity. Don't read shallow books that provide no nourishment, as they will waste our mental resources and cause our consciousness to run in circles. As the Tao Te Ching says, 5 colors blind the eye, 5 sounds deafen the ear, 5 tastes spoil the palate. The dazzling colors overwhelm our eyes, the noisy sounds damage our hearing, and rich foods make our tongues lose their sense of taste. In this noisy, chaotic world, when we are not busy, we can learn to close our eyes, relax our minds, and consciously block out visual distractions. Quiet, relaxed, with the mind inwardly focused. This is the way to cultivate stillness. This way, you reduce energy consumption and can observe inwardly better, observing the body, the breath, emotions, thoughts, and soul. When body and mind become one, when we unite with the heavens and earth, our spiritual energy becomes stronger. You can start by observing your own emotions. The way to resolve emotions is not by ignoring them, but by acknowledging their presence. Whenever an emotion arises, from the moment the thought stirs, observe it, be aware of it, and look into where it came from. Don't try to control it, judge it, or attach to it. Don't let your emotions control you, and don't take them as a mirror for your identity. Simply let everything unfold quietly, and your core will become more stable. How can we seek inwardly? How can we stop caring about others' opinions? Let me share a great counterintuitive idea. Other people's opinions don't actually exist. You must realize that what you think others' opinions are, in reality, are your own perceptions, not theirs. Once you understand this, you will realize that every time someone's words upset you, it's not their words creating the disturbance, but your own mind processing their words through your personal values, which then leads to self-disturbance. In this world, the harm others can cause you is limited to the physical realm. For example, if someone hits you, you feel pain, but that's all the harm they can do to you. All the psychological harm comes from within yourself, not from others. At least, it's the external information being processed by your inner self and then presented back to you. Psychology often tells us not to care about others' opinions, but it's not about whether we care. The real issue is whether those opinions even exist. Your own views, values, and morality are what truly influence your emotions, not someone else's words. I am who I am. External information is chaotic, and all harm stems from our own processing. Once you understand this, you can isolate the virtual influences from the outside world and face any words, mockery, doubts, or slander without being disturbed in your mind. The mind is originally empty, as the saying goes. You see me from whichever side, and you are only allowed to see that side. A person with a strong core treats their mind as a home, filling it with what they like and allowing no intrusion. But some people treat their minds as a rental, opening the door to external information, letting it in, and losing themselves in endless inner conflict. These people will never live their true self. They will only be a patchwork of others' fragments. I believe this perspective has greatly inspired me. Others' opinions don't really exist. All opinions are processed by your own heart and create harm within you, not because of others. So, if you are still hesitant, Whether young or middle-aged, you must repeatedly reflect on this point. Everyone's opinions and judgments are temporary. Only your own experiences and achievements accompany you through life. Almost all worries and fears come from your imagination. Only when you actually do something will you get results. You must dare to embrace success. Teacher Luo Xiang once said, "If you are afraid to be in the spotlight, afraid of losing face, afraid of becoming an important figure, afraid of taking on responsibility, then aren't you afraid of success? If you're afraid of success, how can you succeed?" So we should never complain so much. A sign of maturity is transforming resentment about things happening to you into an awakening of what those things are trying to teach you, making your inner self stronger. You will understand the two sets of rules governing this world. Many people live under the definition of success imposed by others. But I ask you, what is success? Is it fame and fortune, promotion and wealth, becoming a historical figure, or influencing the course of humanity's development? What is success? In the conclusion of the Ming Dynasty, there's a definition of success. There is only one success: living life the way you like. Think about this carefully. Life is a challenge where you're first brainwashed and then awakened. The competition is who awakens first and understands first. When you observe carefully, you'll see that successful people are awakened ones. When a person is awakened, their inner world changes. The first change is the cessation of the need to prove themselves. No need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. Why? Because after reaching the peak and enduring the low points, there are always cycles and higher or lower points ahead. After realizing this, you won't be afraid or anxious anymore. You won't frantically look around or compare yourself to others with a harsh eye. Then you stop doubting and attacking yourself because you know who you are. You've accepted yourself completely, and you begin to like yourself from the heart. When you are with yourself, there's comfort, no mechanical or exaggerated performance in any situation. You laugh when you want, remain silent when you don't want to speak, and it's no longer awkward. You stop putting so many shoulds or should-nots on yourself. This is when we have truly accepted ourselves. Whether you are gentle and warm, silent and calm, direct and sharp, noisy and lively, introverted or extroverted, accustomed to being alone or with friends, good at socializing or not, as long as it is your true self, you accept it. Observe it, be aware of it, and look into where it came from. Only your own experiences and achievements accompany you through life. There is only one success: living life the way you like. You won't criticize yourself or others or the environment. You will understand the cause and effect of the current situation, change what you can change, and accept what you can't. There will be no more complaints, but this doesn't mean you stop thinking, stop having a stance, or stop rejecting things. It simply means that external challenges give you the strength to act, instead of getting stuck in negative emotions. Then you'll be clear about one or two important things to focus on in life. You'll choose one area to research deeply or a hobby to invest in. A simple life is limited, and doing one or two things well is already hard enough. The third change is being clear about your most important roles in life. Being a good child, a good parent, a good partner, and, of course, most importantly, being a good version of yourself. This is what happens after awakening. You understand that time is limited, resources are limited, and abilities are limited. You do your best, and there will be no regrets or entanglements in life. The things you really want to do, you will give your best effort, but you will no longer force the result. You will understand that life is about going with the flow, and that going with the flow is not about inaction, but about doing your best without forcing it. What you want to accomplish and get will still be a lot, but you will understand that in this life you will lose and miss many things. Some of them are inevitable, accept them calmly. Others are your own mistakes. Learn the lessons and strive not to repeat them. In the end, you'll realize that nothing is truly owned, and nothing is truly lost. In this life, we only have the right to use things, not to own them. Eventually, everything will be lost, and this is what happens after awakening. Step by step.